Hey everyone, Arlene here. In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a 12 by 12 layout and incorporate some of your La La Land Crafts dies. Here I'm just trimming the 12 by 12 paper down, and I'm going to be creating some layers with these design papers along with some 12 by 12 cardstock. I'll be adding a few layers to this layout to give it some dimension, and I'll also be using some of the coordinating papers to cut out some die cuts using some La La Land Crafts dies. This is the koi circle die from La La Land Crafts. I'm also going to be using the lattice border, and I'll be cutting that out with some of the coordinating design paper. I'll also be using the new lattice corner die, and I'm going to be using that in a different way, and you'll see how I do that here in the layout. I'll be distressing the edges of the design paper, and then I'll be layering them onto this cream cardstock to just add an additional layer and accent to the pages. I'm not adding adhesive to the very edge of the design paper, and you'll see why in a minute. I'll be cutting a couple of slits on the layout on the top and bottom, and I'll be distressing that and then using a paintbrush to curl them a little bit. Then I'll be tucking in the lattice corner die, so it'll be kind of peeking out from the curled edges of the design paper. On the horizontal strips of design paper, I decided to add a layer of cardstock just to bring out the papers a bit. Here is where I tuck in the lattice corner die so it's peeking out of the little curls on the page. I'll be adhering the die cuts down with mono-adhesive glue. I'll be tucking the koi circle die cut in two different places of the layout, so I'm cutting it in half to maximize the use of the die. So you'll see I'll tuck one to the top left corner of the photo, and I'll tuck the other piece to the bottom right corner of the photo. Here I'll be accenting the bottom of the photo using a die cut from the Lattice border die. At this point, I'm not quite sure where I want to lay the flowers down, so I'm going to be playing around a little bit with the petaloo flowers. I'll also be accenting the flowers or around the flowers with some La-La-Land craft dies as well. I'll be adding a Celebrate You sentiment from one of La-La-Land Crafts club kits, and I'll be using some of the nested circles to layer the sentiment on. Here I'm adding the Berry Flourish die around the flowers to sort of add an accent around the cluster. I'll also be adding the Shabby Flourish die from one of the club kits, and I'll be incorporating the Fancy Butterfly onto the layout as well. I die cut it twice, and I adhered only the center so the wings pop up and give it a little bit of dimension like this. Now you'll notice that nothing's adhered down yet. I like to play around with the position of the items on the layout before I actually adhere everything down. So once I have that all ready, you'll see the final layout here.